So we start the episode now. Top 5 Sean Connery movies in honor of the legend. Passed away this past week, the age of 90. This is going to be an interesting list. I mean, he's the iconic James Bond. I don't think anyone else, as good as Daniel Craig is, no one else will be remembered first as Bond.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, I really tried not to watch any Bond movies after Connery left the first time before he made that later one
Yeah.
that they slipped in. But of course, with all the reruns and stuff, I had to watch them. But yeah, I mean, Connery was the definitive James Bond. And I want to give a shout out to my cousin, James Henry Hurt IV, who took me to see Dr. No when it came out in 1962. So I was like 14 years old.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that would have been neat to see on the big screen.
Yeah.
We could have done just a top 5 Sean Connery James Bond movies, actually. Just rank them.
Yeah, we could have, but that wouldn't give the whole picture of Connery. And actually, Connery hated doing the James Bond movies.
Yeah, he got sick of being kind of stuck in the box of
Yeah, he didn't want to be typecast and stuff. And I think the last one that he made was like an illegal one. Because I think like 2 James Bond movies came out that year. And his was not sanctioned by the family.
Right. Yeah, right. Interesting stuff. All right, so who wants to start first?
All right, I'll start first.
Okay.
I'm putting this last because I know you're going to have it. Might as well get it out of the way.
Yes.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yes, of course I have it.
Which
higher.
I know I figured you would. But we've said it, we've had it so many times. One of the things that Connery does really good, though, is that I would think that the majority of his movies, he wasn't the primary actor. He was an auxiliary actor,
Mm-hmm.
and he really does well in those roles. And so Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is a really good example of that. I mean, Harrison Ford obviously was the primary actor, and if Connery wasn't in it, it wouldn't have been the hit that it was.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, because we had at that point another Indiana Jones sequel to compare to, and even though Temple of Doom technically did well in the box office, I think it turned a lot of people off from the series a little bit. But Crusade brought it back in such a big way, and Connery was a huge part of that. He was, like you said, an auxiliary character. He brought a lot of the comic relief into the movie. The chemistry they had was great.
You don't think of Connery, in a comedic type role, but if you watch a lot of his movies, he does do comedic things. Like even in Dr. No, when he killed the tarantula,
right?
Then he went into the bathroom because he
exactly
yeah.
Classic, man.
So he wasn't known as a comedian, but he could do funny stuff.
And I think there were parts of Crusade that were funny without him even trying. Like just the way he said certain things, like when he gets excited about the map and he goes, Alexandretta. Like, it's just the way he talks is so funny, man.
Yeah, no, he's got that Scottish accent.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and then like even the part when he shoots his own plane.
yeah, yeah. And he
Just
goes, "Oh, they
to
got
get
us."
a son.
So great, so many, and yeah, the chemistry with him and Ford was so good with the whole junior thing,
Yeah, it's
and
just like how he delivers the lines. I mean,
yeah,
they just come in. You know, it's
and really some sweet moments too, like when they're having the father-son conversation on the
right.
blimp, and he's like, "Well, what do you want to talk about? I'm here now." It's so great. I could go on and on about it, which I'll
Yeah, I
probably
know.
do again when we get to it on my list. But
I know.
uh,
That's why I put it up first because we've
yeah,
gone. I think we've run through this movie like I think it's been on like 6 of our top 10 lists,
yeah, probably a couple, but
and it probably will continue if we do a Harrison Ford top.
that's right, baby. It's one of the greatest. So, all right. So my number five is The Rock from '97, I think, is when it came out.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
the problem with this list is going to be there are so many good Connery movies
yeah, yeah.
that there are even some obscure ones that are like really good.
Oh, sure, yeah,
And so to say that these are like the top five,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's better to say these are the
Our
five that we
favorites,
like.
yeah.
Yeah, our favorite.
Yeah, of course. Well, it'll be interesting when they're grouped together, but The Rock is one that I don't really revisit it, but as far as like popcorn movies goes, it's great fun. It's a what's his name? Was it Michael Bay that directed it or Bruckheimer? I don't remember. One of those
Uh,
two. But like all their movies are usually over the top action and not usually a whole lot of dramatic substance. And this was kind of the case here, but it was just so fun to see Connery in his older years. This came out almost a decade after Last Crusade. Be like this badass guy, escaping from Alcatraz with
right. And
Nicolas
then go
Cage.
trying to save it.
Right, exactly. And Ed Harris plays the villain. So, full
It
of just great
had a really
actors.
good cast. I mean, Cage, Harris,
Right.
and what's his name? Bean. Can't remember.
Oh yeah, Michael Bean from Terminator. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right. Yeah, I forgot he's in that. But yeah,
yeah.
that and so over the top with like the bio weapon stuff and kind of ridiculous, unbelievable, but a fun movie and cool to see Connery with long hair too.
It wasn't the first time he had long hair.
That's true. That's true.
Uh,
So what's
it's
your number four?
I kept hedging back and forth with number four, only because of number five. I was going to leave number five alone.
You bastard. Yeah, I'm glad you
Uh,
didn't.
so I'm going to go with a movie that I really liked Connery in,
Yeah.
1986. The Name of the Rose.
Ah, yeah. I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah, we watched this together,
yeah.
and it was
It's one of
and
my
it was
favorite.
awkward because of the sex scene.
It's one of my favorite Connery movies.
Yeah.
It's like who done it? He's a monk, goes
Right.
to his monastery. Brothers are dying,
Yes.
but they can't figure out why. And then, of course, because it's in the Middle Ages, they think witchcraft is involved and all this other stuff.
Right.
So Connery is is a star actually in this one. But yeah, it turns out that well, I'm not gonna tell you what it turns out, but
Right. Right.
it's like but it was a good fun movie. He had a young monk with him what the hell was it?
Christian Slater,
Christian Slater.
one
Yeah,
of his first movies, I
yeah.
think.
It was one of Slater's first movie, and he's
Yeah.
the one with the sex scenes and the thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
he trades bread for sex.
Right. Right. Exactly. That's
But
true.
it was a real interesting movie because, as you know, I like historical fiction stuff.
Yeah.
So Middle Ages, Sean Connery. Uh,
No, it's definitely. I thought about that movie. I almost put it as my five, actually. So I thought you would put it, as a matter of fact. So
so yeah, because I figured that nobody would put it down, and I figured it's a like really interesting movie to see.
yeah,
Other than your usual James Bond thing, and then
yeah,
uh, you know
right.
gangster
The
fighting,
sure.
the usual typical movies that everybody's in.
Yeah.
Give
Okay.
you something educational.
Right. Right. Well, that leads into mine. It's a historical movie, technically. Number four, I put Time Bandits. Even though
Uh,
he is a supporting role again in this one, very supporting.
he has big supporting roles in a lot of movies.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he played, was it Agamemnon in this movie? Is that?
yes, I think that was it.
Yeah, right.
It's easier for you to say than me.
Yeah. Well,
Agamemnon. See, I can't say it.
yeah, yeah. So he's only in the movie for maybe like 10 minutes or something, but
No, he's in the movie. He's in the movie.
he
He's
appears
in the
again
movie,
at the end.
and at the end, yeah,
Right, right. Because he's almost like the father figure of the kid, that
right.
uh, more so than just in the historical part. But yeah, great movie. We've talked about it before in our time travel. I think you picked it on that one.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, Terry Gilliam directed, and but yeah, the very realistic. Actually, in all the segments, that was the more serious one. I think Connery brought a little of that weight into it. Like when they go back into the Robin Hood times, it was all silly with John Cleese,
right.
which is one of my favorite parts. But Connery was great in his role, I thought.
Yeah, I mean,
And
there was a lot of good sections in that movie because basically it was going from one time thing to another time thing. Napoleon thing was good too.
oh yeah, that was awesome. With Ian Holm, he was just so excited to have little people around him.
Right. And then the sequences with God and stuff too were good. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, all around a good Python type movie.
Yeah, I need to go back and rewatch that one. It's been a long time. But
Yeah. Next time you come down, I got it.
okay, cool.
We'll, we'll crank it up.
All right. Yeah, whenever that happens.
Yeah,
Cool.
remember that? Yeah, right. So where are we up to now?
What's your three?
My number three. One of my favorite movies,
Yes.
The Hunt for Red October.
Ah, okay. I didn't put this one, but I thought you might. I've only seen it once, I think.
Yeah, based on a Tom Clancy novel by the same name. Uh, a super Russian submarine captained by Sean Connery is looking to defect.
Yeah. Doesn't
And
Baldwin play the main role in this one? Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, Alec Baldwin
Yeah.
plays Jack Ryan in this
Right.
movie. Uh, I guess he was the first Jack Ryan.
Right.
No, we had Harrison Ford and
Yeah.
the the Star Wars guy, what's his name, Pine. Also playing
hmm
that role, not counting the TV one.
Right.
But yeah, so uh, Alec Baldwin is thinking that he might want to defect because of what he's doing and stuff like that.
hmm
But he was like, he was, as the captain, he was like masterful. He was with that time sequence
Yeah.
with the American submarine and him down there playing cat and mouse. And he's going through the ravines, and he's got everything timed on the thing and on his watch, and he's just standing there. His crew is like sweating. They're like going at maximum speed, zipping through the trench, going
Right.
around the curves and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
But
do
again,
remember that.
it's that reserved, stately manner
Yeah.
that he just exhibits.
Yeah, Connery was great in that. I did think about putting that just because of his performance in it, but it had been so long since I'd seen it, and you brought back a little bit of my memory of it there. But yeah, good pick. Okay, so my number three, finally getting to a James Bond movie, I chose Goldfinger, which a lot of people think is kind of the ultimate James Bond movie because it has a little bit of everything. Um,
Yeah, I picked that also, but it's higher up.
okay, yeah, but I mean, when you talk about like the humor of James Bond, it has a good bit of that. Like just even the opening sequence when he has the duck hat coming out of the water. It's so ridiculous. And then right after that, he like blows up a building and it's in the background and he's just, looking all cool with his suit on. And then of course you got the iconic villain Goldfinger who paints people
Women go,
gold after he kills
yeah.
them. Like what? It makes no sense, really.
I know that the internet was going crazy with that one. Yeah. Can
Yeah.
somebody really die if you paint them all gold?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then what was the name of the girl? Like one of the most ridiculous names. Was it Pussy Galore or
Yeah,
something?
Pussy
Yeah,
Galore. No, Octopussy, wasn't it?
that was a different movie.
That
That
was
was
a
the name
different
of a
movie.
movie with
Yeah, right.
Roger Moore. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Yeah. It
But
had
yeah,
all those like weird names and stuff like that.
so crazy, man. But
Yeah.
then it's got that great scene where he's got the laser coming at him, and I don't remember how he gets out of that. He's always the master of getting out of a crazy situation.
Yeah.
So,
Honor Blackman played Pussy Galore.
okay, okay. Yeah, the typical, blonde bombshell and all that.
Right.
But
Did you talk about Odd Job?
Odd Job?
Yeah, the big guy.
Oh, right, with the hat, right?
Yeah, with the hat.
Yeah. He can like chop people's heads off with a hat. Like,
Yeah,
what?
and they had that comedic thing too on the golf course with the hat.
Right.
Towards at the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. And then he gets
yeah,
like electrocuted or whatever. Yeah, there's always the henchman, like the main guy and then the henchman. And
right.
this had some of the
Yeah,
best ones, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. And then of course the girls. It
Yeah,
was
of
always
course.
about the girls in the beginning. But in the
Yeah,
beginning, the girls were just like sex symbols.
right.
Later on, they developed into be, like
Yeah,
co.
sure. Yeah, like M in the later series,
Yeah.
Judy Dench or whatever. Yeah. So, okay. So you have it higher. So what is your number two?
My number two is probably his best known supporting actor movie, The Untouchables.
Ah, yes. Also my number two.
All right.
See, we meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, we
So,
did.
Untouchables, yeah, great film directed by Brian De Palma.
Right. Great cast.
Yeah.
Costner,
Hmm.
Robert De Niro.
Andy Garcia, of course,
Yeah,
Robert De Niro as the villain, who he was a little over the top in that role with the makeup and everything. But I guess it was kind of true to the real Al Capone. But yeah, Connery stole the show in this movie.
yeah.
Uh,
This is his only, I think, Oscar award,
right.
best
Yeah.
supporting actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, but he could have been the best actor because he just stole that movie.
Yeah. I mean, and you really, that the sad scene towards the end, you really feel for it. Like you're like, oh man, when he's crawling on the ground and stuff. But but yet you grow to like love his character throughout the movie because he has all the best lines, like that whole thing of he brings a knife, you bring a gun, you know, you take him to the morgue. Uh, I love his accent, man. They really had fun with it. That guy who did him on Saturday Night Live all the time, with really overdoing the accent and making him like this mean guy. But yeah, Untouchables is untouchable for Sean
Yeah,
Connery for sure.
definitely.
So cool. Okay, so your number one then, I'm guessing, was
Go
Goldfinger.
figure. Yes, and I'm guessing your number one, surprise, surprise,
Yes.
Raiders of the Last Crusade.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So now we put it together. Okay, so I guess because your one was Goldfinger and I had it at three, we'll have to make that number one. And then now the question becomes, is Indiana Jones 3 2 because it was my one and your five, or do our two twos? I think we should put Untouchables at two since we both
Yeah,
had
I
it
think
at
we
two.
should put on Untouchables right too. Since we both had it there.
Yeah, and then so then I'll put Indy 3 at three. That makes sense.
Well, at least it didn't make number one.
I'm psyched. My top three is the same, just in different order. Okay, so now
You
let's
have to
see.
put October 4.
Yes, that's true, because that was your three. So now it's between The Name of the Rose and Time Bandits. This this will be interesting.
This is
Let's
gonna
go to
be
Letterboxd.
this is gonna be a toughie.
I think yours might get it. Let's
No,
see.
I don't know. I think it really wasn't uh, a movie that people were. Actually, it came out the same year as another famous movie where he played a supporting role too.
Was that Highlander?
That was Highlander. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you might have chose that also.
Yeah, I was thinking about, but I put it as an honorable mention.
Oh, wow. Name of the Rose has a 3.6
Yeah.
and Time Bandits a 3.5. So you win.
Oh my God, I don't believe that.
Yep. Wow. I'm kind of shocked that
I'm
that made our
shocked
top
too.
five.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty good list, though, I gotta
Yeah.
say. Pretty representative of different roles for the guy,
Right.
and shows the breadth of his work, of his career, I think. So, so what other honorable mentions do you have before we read the
Okay, well,
final
I'm
list?
skipping over, trying to skip over the ones that you already said. Uh, The Wind and the Lion
Okay.
was another one where he played a sheik and he uh, held for ransom an American family, uh, played by Candice Bergen. And it, there was negotiations between him and Teddy Roosevelt and stuff like that. So it was a good, like, a historical fiction drama thing again. You said
Right.
Time Bandits. We left out From Russia with Love.
Yep. Another good one.
Yeah,
And Doctor No.
yeah. And this one was like kind of a sleeper too, towards the end of his career in 2000, Finding Forrester.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
where
forgot about
he
that one.
played, yeah, played a poet, a famous poet,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy found him out and stuff like that. Was trying to find out about him and stuff like that. Uh, Murder on the Orient Express, 1974.
Mm-hmm.
The Molly Maguires,
Okay.
The Longest Day, big part of that, but there was tons of big parts. Everybody was in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Russia House.
Mm-hmm.
One movie that I didn't realize that he was in because I saw it when I was a kid. Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Interesting.
Yeah, it
That
was
I
like,
don't know of that one.
yeah, it was 1959.
Okay.
Thunderball.
Right.
You Only Live Twice,
Mm-hmm.
Diamonds Are Forever, Robin and Marion, where he played Robin Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, Later in life, you know, uh, A Bridge Too Far, a movie that I just resaw a little while ago. Again, he's playing a support role in this. He's with his buddy Michael Caine.
Right.
Outland,
Mm-hmm.
Never Say Never Again, The Presidio, Family Business, one that I said before,
Right.
uh, Rising Sun,
Mm-hmm.
Entrapment, I said Finding Forrester, A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which I think was his last movie, and
Yeah.
it pretty much bombed. But the other one that I was going to say, if I didn't do uh, The Last Crusade, was The Man Who Would Be King.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Caine and uh, and Connery,
Yeah.
where uh, they were out in, I think, India or someplace like that. It's a story based on Rudyard Kipling, where they thought because Kane was wearing a Mason symbol
Mm-hmm.
that he was a past king. So apparently they had a king or something that for some reason had a Mason symbol.
Yeah.
And so it was a movie about greed and things like that. But
Right.
that was like a good movie also, 1975. So I think
Okay.
there was one.
Yes.
So besides the long hair and what was the one again?
Wait, what? The long what?
Hair. When you said
Oh, The Rock.
yeah, The Rock, and then Highlander.
Right.
There was also a movie that I never saw,
Yeah.
and but apparently it's a cult classic.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Zardos.
Okay.
He's got he's got long hair and he's wearing like uh, a red jumpsuit or something
Interesting.
through the movie. Yeah, obviously it's a sci-fi movie. I
Okay.
never saw it, but
I'll have to look it up at least to get to that image.
yeah, and apparently it was he was like young when he did this movie.
Yeah. Did you mention in your list the Great Train Robbery
Uh,
in your honorable mentions? I don't
no,
think
I
you did,
didn't.
right?
I forgot
But
about the Great Train Robbery.
I figured you would have liked that one because it had
Actually, I
Sutherland
did.
too, right?
Yeah, it had Donald Sutherland in it.
Yeah.
Again, it was like a precision thing. He's good with the stopwatch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I resaw it again maybe about 4 months ago.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But yeah, that was a good movie also.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. Well, sweet. Well, let's get to the official list, the top 5 of our favorite Sean Connery movies of all time. At number 5, The Name of the Rose. At number 4, The Hunt for Red October. At number 3, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. At number 2, The Untouchables. And at number 1, Goldfinger. And that is it.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you sang it.
I gotta say that's probably one of the worst James Bond songs. It's so annoying, like so over the top.
Yeah, that was probably the only bad part about that movie. I mean, it
Yeah.
really was a good movie. It had,
Oh yeah.
like you said, it had multiple elements in it. Connery was really good in that movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
The cool suave
All right.
Bond. So
So that, I guess that could be probably, possibly, except for the newer James Bond movies. That's probably the best James Bond movie, Goldfinger.
yeah,
So,
we were poised to do a top 5 Bond movies for the release of the new one, but that got pushed back to next year, right?
yeah,
So
maybe.
we'll get to it.
maybe,
but oh,
maybe
maybe.
never.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, in the
they're gonna
meantime,
they're gonna have to work a way to. I know it'll totally destroy the movie theater business,
yeah,
but if we don't get rid of this COVID-19, I think what they're gonna do, they might have to do is like just stream them and
yeah,
charge like $30 or something to stream the movie.
yeah, probably so. Well, they already did that for that Mulan movie, right? But
Yeah.
I don't think that worked out that well. But we'll see. But in the meantime, we got the '70s to get through. Connery threw us off course, but next week we'll do the top five 1977, so we can finish '70s. And I already got my list ready for that.
Well, did we
So
do 78 and 79? We didn't do that,
no,
right?
not yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's
We
on.
keep moving forward. So cool. All right, sounds good. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you too.
All right, bye.
Bye.